Welcome, everyone. I guess most of us, it's afternoon for most of us.
Yeah.
Is it right, Junie and Dr. Eng?
Yes, it's afternoon.
Yes. So I am in Australia, and Dr. Eng is Singapore, and Junie is in Malaysia. Yes, and lots of my staff from Kids Coaching Indonesia, they are in Indonesia. So good afternoon and welcome all to our session today. It's very exciting because I think there will be people from around, like from some countries, isn't it, Junie?
Yes, we have parents from Jamaica and Kenya with us as well.
Wow.
Wow. That's exciting.
And India as well.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic. So I think the blessing of COVID that we all can come together from around the world. Isn't that fantastic? I think despite the misery, there's always blessing, isn't it? And I think this is why we are here today and we get together again. I'm so excited, Dr. Ong, to have you again, and that we can collaborate, and hopefully what we are going to share today will help so many, inspire so many, and that it gives some positive sort of hope to many children, especially with autism spectrum disorder or any learning difficulties, learning challenges. This time, all the students are actually challenged heavily because we have to suddenly move into the online space, isn't it, Dr. Ang? Never happened before.
Right.
What do you think, Dr. Ang?
Yeah. So many of the children are learning from home, and parents also need to be careful. My daughter in San Francisco, last month they closed out the school and restarted after 1 year, and this is what happened, and quite scary. My daughter also surprised. Primary 6 student, grade 6 student, that means they are 12 years old, 11 years old, or 13 years old. After 1 year of COVID, they stay at home, they do learning at home. But then when they go to school after 1 year, after lunch, my daughter said, normally they will talk a lot after vacation, so many things, chit-chat and talk. And suddenly everybody after meal sitting there and look at the sky. No one is talking and no one is moving.
Oh no.
But yeah, my daughter said it's quite scary. How come they behave so strange? They never, the children will not behave like that. So then they trying to encourage them to go out and get a ball, basketball, and go and play and running about. And after trying for a few days, half of the students go out and play, but still half of the students still sitting there and do not know what to do.
Yeah.
And they said last time they are so active, and even though after 1 month and still a few students still not used to it, still sitting there and dreaming and do not know what to do. So I think as we are going through, if we are doing at home, so you may also want to try to bring the children out from home, go to the playground or garden or somewhere, just walk. Don't go to the crowded places. And maybe will help them to adapt once the COVID is over. So this is something that no one is expected. My daughter said the whole school are shocked by their behavior.
Yes, I can imagine, because after being isolated and then suddenly you have to go back to the community, to the society, and people sort of, especially kids, they are so used to new routine, new habit. and suddenly they had to change, and then they had to change back. It's something that is such a shock for children, obviously. Yeah.
And they are
So
normal students. They are not special needs children. So
exactly.
that's why when we have some children who is special children, then it may have a greater impact on them. So we have to watch out and guide them and help them.
Yes, I totally agree. Yes, I
Sorry to
totally
interrupt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grace,
So
the maximum is 100, is it?
no.
Yeah,
This
there's a message coming in that the maximum capacity is 100, and right now our numbers are stuck there.
oh really?
Yep.
Okay. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
It shouldn't be like this, but I actually.
Yeah, there are a few messages coming in that they cannot join anymore.
Oh, okay. Just
Yep.
give me a minute. It
Alright.
should actually be. Okay. So, Juni, would you like to open and whilst I fix this?
All right, sure.
Yeah, and then we can let people in once
Okay.
I fix this issue. Apologize for this.
All right. How long will it take, Grace?
I can be as fast as less than 5 minutes.
All right. Shall we wait so that parents who come in can actually hear what we have to announce?
Oh, okay.
Just
All
5
right.
minutes. Parents who are here already, can we just give
The
the
YouTube.
rest 5 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, the YouTube link is also available.
Yes. How do
If
they access to the YouTube, Grace?
Oh, Bu Imro, can you please send the link?
Oh, yep. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So maybe whilst waiting, is there anything that maybe you can share with us, Dr. in terms of what people experiencing and in maybe in different worlds and especially related to special needs? Well, just wait for me to fix this.
Yeah, I think some of the parents may need to just go to YouTube and watch from the YouTube. So if you have know some friends who was invited, and maybe you can also send the YouTube link to them. Hopefully they can go there, and if they can come to our Zoom, then they join in later. But now maybe can send them. And it had been a long time since last time when we give talk, and Grace was teaching us how to do the diet, and I think my daughter also benefited from your talk, Grace, that what to eat, how to eat, and so one of the area I think is physical. So diet will definitely help the child. So after maybe Grace can share more on how to go on your diet.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it still interests people, but we have been doing it for
Wonderful. Yeah.
for a long time now, and certainly it does play a big role
Yes.
and have a significant impact.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, on the sort of psychological and physiological conditions of the children.
Yes.
And it's not, I mean, it's something that is difficult to implement. I mean, it's difficult to, what do you call it? Not to implement, because the menu is actually very, very simple. But I think the planning, the preparation, like mental preparation of having to change is a lot greater, like costing a lot more, like worry or concern compared to just actually doing the menu or implementing the menu. So that's something that I think parents can sort of talk to other parents who have implemented it to get some to get some, maybe some like support or information in a sharing sort of type, that so that they know what other parents have experienced, and then they can maybe consider doing it themselves, because it definitely helps.
Yes.
No question. Yeah. So, okay, let's just, I apologize for this technical issue. I have to even open. Okay. Okay, so should we start? Junie, can you please start? Just greet
All right.
everyone and
Okay, thanks.
thank you.
Hi, good afternoon and a warm welcome to everyone for taking time to join us today on the topic of brain and behavior training for children with autism spectrum disorder. My name is Junie and I'm based in PJ, Malaysia. For those who are attending our webinar for the first time, let me briefly introduce our speaker, Dr. Meng. Dr. Ng went to Vancouver, Canada for his education and obtained a doctorate in American educational psychology. After he returned to Singapore, he founded several student care centers. For more than 20 years, he has been actively training students. This includes helping to improve the learning ability of students with learning and intellectual challenges. Dr. Ng has often been interviewed in Singapore newspapers, television, and radio. He also goes overseas to share about education and parent-child related matters, helping many parents to deal with their children's learning issues, be it concerning schoolwork or psychological aspects. Back to you, Grace.
Sure. Thanks, Junie, and welcome everyone. I do apologize for the technical issues. So hopefully those who are not able to join us live in Zoom, you can still join us via YouTube, because it's also live there. And if you have any questions, please do, you can either send them to Junie or Kids Coaching Office, and we will try to answer your questions today. And as the flyer mentioned, Dr. Ng will speak after we do a live demonstration of Vera. And I am Grace. I'm the founder of Kids Coaching Indonesia and also Neuro Network here in Australia. I am based in Sydney, and I primarily work on behaviors, children with special needs, or any patients with neurological disorder. So today we are going to focus on teenagers with autism spectrum disorder. Since we all understand and hopefully accept the fact that the pandemic will still be going for some time, I think we can't deny that this is a really good option to go into the online space. And today, I'm hoping that me, Dr. Ng, and maybe Junie and some other people who have a really incredible experience can share ideas and how to engage students or children to be very familiar and also comfortable learning via online. So in the meantime, whilst we are actually getting ready for our Wira to join us, I will just describe what uh, sort of how long has he been doing online, and also how long he has been using Neuralet, just to give you an idea when and how long it can take, and also some techniques on how to retain concentration, focus, attention, and is particularly having the right attitude and behavior in learning via like online. So far, since the pandemic, so it's been 1 year now that Wira has been learning online. Learning online, what I'm talking about here is actually one-on-one session with a coach or with a therapist. So, and it's live. We don't do pre-recordings videos, but we prepare all the materials and customize to every single child or every single client. And it's such a big shock for everybody, obviously, I mean, all the students, to suddenly not come to the center. We try to explain and the best we can the reason why they had to stay at home and move into looking at the coach or the therapist via the screen. And other things we did not change in terms of the duration of the session. So we still run 90-minute sessions instead of or reducing it to 45 minutes or 1 hour. So our one-on-one session has always been 90 minutes. So you can imagine what we need to prepare for the 90 minutes to retain the student to stay like on the screen. And particularly with children with autism, with limited verbal or limited communication, we have to make sure that they understand the new routine of how they, can sit and watch and interact, respond, and maybe not just talking, but also using the technology itself, like using the keyboard, using the mouse, and also filling in some worksheet that's online, or filling in the interactive games, for instance. So it's been, I think I must say, despite the challenge, I think we came out like quite happy, because all the students we have, they have progress. Nobody actually regress, which we are very happy about. And then when we introduce Neuralet in our program, we are even happier because behavior sessions, you can't quantify, you can't end the session with a score. You can only have like a qualitative sort of report. Okay, so the child was able to stay focused for, let's say, 30 minutes or 90 minutes. By the way, if people still want to join us via Zoom, they can now. So that's exciting. So I guess, that is a big thing that I learned, not to panic when there's a technology difficulty or obstacle, because if I panic, my student will be more panicked than me. So this is something that I think a great a blessing for us as therapists, as as teachers. It's a self-development, on how we self-regulate ourselves very quickly. So yeah, so I'm still waiting for Vera to join us. And yes, so since we introduced, so Vera has been using Neurolet for about 8 months, not even 1 year. And if you've been to one of our sessions where we did a live demonstration, there are 5 questions in each category, which means every 5 questions, the student has to adapt to the new instruction. Isn't that, Dr. Ang?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So imagine after 5 questions. So if they get to the first, let's say, section or category, that's a good news, but then they're moving on to the next 5. So in the beginning, of course, we have to explain and guide them on how to navigate, not only answer the questions, but also to understand what's expected from the questions. So in the beginning, I think I always call the beginning a transition period, whereby in transition, it's in between, isn't it? It's in between something. So if it's in between something, we can have a mindset of make it as creative, as fun as possible, because it's in between. That means we don't know how we are going to continue. And we should not be scared because we are just begin. We just begin or we just start. Because the hardest part, I think, in life is to start. So when Dr. Mentioned about the diet, actually that was the word, Dr. that sort of was missing in my head. The difficulty is to start. Once we are used to the new routine, the new activity, the new everything, the new behavior, it's all kind of just like a clockwork. But in the beginning, if we have a mindset of, yes, it's a transition, so let's explore whatever we can, so that we will see what happens. So place it like an experiment. Okay, so I hope you are okay with my introduction, because Vera is now here. Where are you, Vera? So Vera, hi Vera. Bisa unmute Wira, tolong pinter. Ya, Kak. So today I'm going to speak mainly in English, but if someone needs to ask a question in Indonesian, I'm happy to facilitate. Okay, so this is Wira, Dr. Eng.
Yeah.
And Wira, tolong share screen sayang. Good boy. Neurolet ya. So Wira is ready to show you. Oh, have you done it? Have you finished it? Can you start again? Boleh mulai lagi nggak, Wira?
Boleh lagi.
Ya, mulai lagi dong, Neurolet. Pencet Neurolet, sayang. Tekan Neurolet. Neurolet, logo Neurolet, yes. Ya, Randa, ya. Good boy. Mulai lagi ya, sayang. Ya. Well, because Wira had finished the previous session, this time we'll see how he goes. If everything goes smoothly, Dr. Eng, we'll let Wira to complete the whole thing, if that's okay. I actually asked Wira to start before, so we can watch halfway through, but because he finished the one before.
Okay.
So, okay, so everyone, if you, ya Kak, yuk, serius dan fokus. Yuk, udah nggak apa-apa. Semua lihat di sini karena Kakak Wira hebat, oke? Nggak dibaca ya. Ya, pinter. Fokus ya Kak, hebat. Skip Kak. Pinter. Bagus Kak. So far so good, Dr. Am.
Good.
Dibaca Kak ya, kalau nggak hafal. Nggak apa-apa Kak, it's okay. Yuk, bisa. Nggak apa-apa. Dibaca Kak, kalau lupa dibaca. 3, 1. Dibaca ya, kalau perlu ya. Keren Kak. Keren. Lanjut aja Kak. Oh, yes. So Wira is actually demonstrating mission. We are watching him doing Neuralet from the beginning because there was a technical issue. So Wira actually restarted from the beginning of the session. So in the meantime, we'll see how he goes. If he can still concentrate whilst we are talking, then Dr. Ang probably can give some or make some comments. That's what I was going to say.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Wira
Okay,
has,
these are the exercise that he's doing it. So each activities is 5 questions. So now it's 25. That means this will be the last question for these activities. So just now you saw some numbers. Now is alphabets, and you need to be capital letter. I think need to remind him all capital letters. So now is ask him to do memorize this is visual memorize, and then leave out 1 letters. So these are the abilities that needed for children to keep informations so that he can recall back, and then also can adjust the information accordingly. So sometimes we need to understand a message, and we need to store the information, and then to digest it, to analyze it, and then we come up with our conclusion. So this is another exercise that needed to reverse. So I think in the beginning when he started this training, all these are too difficult for him. Grace, how old is he?
Wira umur berapa, Kak?
19.
19 years old.
Okay, so he started from 3 years old program, meaning that if 19 years old, the program will be too hard for him. So we adjust it. In fact, usually we don't adjust unless they really having difficulties. So sometimes we adjust 2 years or 3 years. Sometimes we just easily just make it easy if we adjust it from the beginning 3 years old. So that will be easier for the child to start to familiar with the exercise, and it's easier. And we only 3 years old is only with 8 abilities that we are training. After I'll show you the reports that he did. So once abilities is equipped, then we will trigger more abilities so that he can go further. So just like a baby, baby we start to teach him how to turn, turn sideways. You cannot just ask the baby, can you stand up and run? Cannot. The baby will have to start from turning. Once he can turn over and then lift out the head, and then he can crawl slowly. Each abilities once he has obtained, then we can ask him to do something more difficult. So after that, the baby can sit and then can stand up. After can stand up, then he can learn how to walk. After learn how to walk, then we ask him to run, jump, with 1 leg or backwards or forward or sideways. So the activities will getting more difficult. So after when you look at the reports, then I will show you when he trigger more abilities and at when. Some abilities may not improve because of certain abilities is not ready, so he did not see the improvement. Doesn't mean that the whole abilities is not improving. It's because of 1 or 2 abilities that is lacking, so he is not showing in the reports. So now is numbers and alphabet combined together. You need to be capital letters. Okay, so we design in a way that it is a tailor-made program for the child. Now, because it's an AI, AI only can know or take out the information where the child is key in. Like, let's say he key in small letter or capital letter, and the computer will pick up from there. he will treat as wrong. The computer will not give favor. Like as teacher, when we look at the child, we know that in fact he know lah, but he careless. But the computer will not pick up careless mistake. He will still treat as you are wrong. So he will give wrong. So this is something that is a negative as a computer. The computer will not, unless the AI advance into a stage that he can understand the humans' behavior. But now it's a simple AI, so the computer will just get the answer from the child, and then he will diagnose from there. So each time when the child finish the whole training, the computer will have to analyze the child. Where have he go so far? Have the abilities has improved, or he has not improved, or he's still maintaining? Then the AI will design a new set of training. When he log in again, then he will give a new set of training. It's a tailor-made for that account. So if the child couldn't do it, then he will make it easier. If the child can do it, then he will make it difficult, a little bit difficult, but always will give the comfort zone for the child. We will not make it so difficult and the child give up, too difficult, I cannot do lah. The computer will not make it so simple. Then the child felt that I don't need like this, just so simple. You think I'm so silly, I so lousy. So it will not lah. Then the child will try to do a little bit difficult, but still under the comfort zone. Okay, he need to refer to the color. So the child looking up is because he need to refer to the colors. Okay, this is the activities that we want the child to understand extended meaning. So he need to count how many colors are there in the words and the color to write. So he need to count out how many colors are there.
Serious? Yeah, so Dr. Ng, yeah, Wira is doing excellent. I agree with
Yep.
because you're talking and he's still, Kak, serius Kak?
He's still doing it. Yeah.
Kak, itu kepencet Kak. Itu tekan di atas. Sebentar, nggak usah bingung. Kak, panggil Adia Kak. Kak, panggil Adia tolong, please. Kak, panggil Adia untuk dibetulin. Ya.
Agak ada.
Ya, itu Adia. Ya, nggak apa-apa. Itu accident, namanya kecelakaan, tidak sengaja. Oke? Okay? I'm just I think Wira accidentally pressed the pen button. Dr. Ng.
Okay.
He was unsure, you know, what's going on.
Okay, and you have to select which one is the same as this picture.
Oh no, so he knows.
Or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, which one?
So, okay, lanjut Kak. Lanjut. Continue.
Ada satu.
Coba dilihat.
Okay,
ya.
Yeah.
So sometimes I actually challenge him if he asks me. I said, have a think about it, you know, because the one thing that I developed in Wira is self-efficacy. So people have a belief that he can do it.
Yeah, and this exercise seems simple. I think a few days ago, I forgot that someone who asked me questions that the child have this dyslexia. Dyslexia meaning that he can't recognize the words or have difficulties. So a few training activities is helping the child. Like just now, the observation. You need to figure out which one is the same picture.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, now this one is quite difficult. Field training activities is helping the child, like just now the
Udah nggak
okay,
apa-apa.
this is difficult.
Ya, Bapak serius aja. Fokus.
Okay, it's not easy. Quite fast, huh?
Pinter, Kak. Hebat. And one thing to highlight, ya, Dr. That the question always different.
Yeah.
So it's not because he's done it before and he remember it now.
Yes, all different questions. Yes.
Yeah, every session is different.
Yeah. So next time when you coach him, tell him do not guess the answer. So he is using the guessing method. So he will take longer time to solve. So tell him to go with a definite answer. So this one definite answer is 6. 6,
Yes.
there is a star there. So he have to go from the 6. But just now he didn't, huh?
Yes.
So then if you solve 6, then the rest will be easier because then you can solve 1. Then once you solve 1, then you can solve 3, you know, all this will come up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kak, nggak apa-apa. Itu cuman nasihat dari Dokter Eng. Udah lanjutin, yuk. Nggak apa-apa. It's okay. Kamu masih, you're still doing well.
Yeah.
Itu suggestion. That's a suggestion, ya.
So
That's a suggestion dari Dokter Eng. It's okay.
yeah, now he got stuck because he couldn't solve 5. 5 and 2 change place.
Kak, ulang aja.
Oh,
Kalau
cannot.
ulang.
5 and 2, now he got trouble.
Nggak apa-apa.
So 5
He can
and
fix.
2 and yeah.
You're still doing well.
7. Okay, good. But he's good, you know, because some children just give a number because one he cannot, he got problem. He just give a number. I think recently I have a 21 years old girl who do the training, and she just jump and then, but this boy is good.
Yeah.
He know that the answer is wrong. He don't want to put in, so he try to change.
That's right.
But this one take longer time. If he do it this way, it will take longer time. So he should start from 8. Tell him to start from 8 because there is a star there.
Mulai nomor 8. Karena nomor 8 udah pasti.
Then will be easier for him. Just jump and then.
Kak, udah nggak apa-apa, Kak. Bagus kok. And self-correction also something that I train him, Dr. Eng, which is very impressive. Because self-correction is not very easy to do.
Yeah, right.
But he actually proactively just correct himself when he figured
correct.
something wrong.
Yes.
And this is like the behaviors that are like important and critical for a student, like any student. As you mentioned, some probably just gives up. Some just give up. But the thing is, he's persistent, you know, and this is something that is so valuable, I think, to have as a student. Then he doesn't give up easily, and he actually corrected himself.
Correct. Good.
Yeah. So.
So you see, you have not start from 7.
Kak, mulai dari nomor 7, Kak. Kalau 7 itu udah pasti
Yeah.
yang bintang ya. Ya,
Okay. Oh, he got the 7.
mulainya dari bintang ya. And udah tenang-tenang nggak apa-apa.
Tenang.
Tenang. Bagus kok, hebat banget. So yeah, so Dr. Whilst he's doing this, he's also trained in the behavior. Like in the beginning, he Kak maaf ya, Bu Grace ceritain dikit, oke? Okay? Boleh nggak?
Boleh.
Okay, I actually asked his permission to
Yeah.
this when he started, and so in the beginning, because like this one you mentioned earlier, it's difficult. It is very difficult.
Yes.
So when Wira usually finds something difficult or new, he would like do a lot of repetitive behaviors.
Oh.
Yeah, so the fact that now he can control himself a lot better, like he's a lot more controlled, I think that's also a gain for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there you go.
You
Started with
continue, and then I share his reports.
Yep. Okay, Kak, tenang Kak, tenang. So yep, sure. Let's just go. Can he
Yeah.
just show one more category, Dr. The next
Oh, okay.
more category.
Yeah, let him finish this one.
Kak, habis kategori ini nanti kakak lanjutin sendiri ya, nggak share screen. Oke nggak?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I just explained to him to get ready
Yeah.
that after this section.
Okay. Yeah.
Himself. What's your name? What's your name?
Now, where are you now? In the Zoom, right? Oh, bye-bye.
Kak, what's your name?
Yes, Tama.
Wirastama. Pinter. Kak, habis ini stop share, Kak. Stop share. Kak, klik stop share di atas. Kakak kerjain sendiri ya. Lanjutin ya. Stop share. Stop share saya. Klik stop share. Pinter. Hebat.
Good.
Makasih, Kak. Lanjut ya. Kakak lanjutin ya. Gak apa-apa ya. Good. Oke, Dr. Eng.
Yeah. Well done. So this is his report. Okay. And he have done 122 times. And okay, let me go to the this one. Can you all see the report? The first one is relationship. And the yellow color is the first time he come in. The computer will design he should start at level 1. And then the red pink color is after training the first time, will he still be able to start from level 1? Sometimes he start from level 2, but the computer think that he can't do it, then he will go from level 1. And then the blue color is telling us that after 122 times, he have advanced to level 4. A children with level 5, he should have all the abilities matched that require him to learn, to digest, to understand the information that school wanted to teach them. So as we start from 3 years old, and this one don't have, okay? So he, after 122 times, he have advanced to level 4, relationship. After we have a report on explaining all the the terms, what is relationship, what is detailed memory. So this one, detailed memory, he started from level 1, and the computer think that he can start from here. So after 122 times, he reached level 4. So these are the abilities. So I want to show you, okay, visual sequencing. We don't have in the first one, but he have not improved. So there are few reasons that he didn't improve. Maybe he did not key in capital letter, no, or he don't understand the questions. Sequencing is sometimes is want him to go forwards. If I tell you 1, 2, 3, you have to type 1, 2, 3 backwards. That means you need to type 3, 2, 1. So this one we need to do with him. See what happened. Is it he understand or he careless or what? Later we know. So this is auditory. Auditory, usually they don't have. 3 years old don't have. So, but his auditory is better. He have progressed to level 3. Anything have progressed to level 3, meaning that these abilities can train. But if abilities after 6 months have not improved, so we need to suspect maybe he don't understand the question, maybe he didn't key in the correct the words, or so we are not sure what happened. Now all the abilities that we design for the training, it should improve. I give an example. If you want to learn how to run faster, okay, with a coach, maybe within a month you can run very fast. Without a coach, but you keep practicing, I think after 2 months or half a year, you will be as same speech as the person who having a coach. So all the abilities that we design, in fact, all the children can do as long as they keep practicing. They cannot do one day and then they rest for 3 days, 4 days, and then come back again. It's just like training running. If you just only train once a week and the other person train every day, surely your improvement will be slow. Okay, so this is extended meaning, and I was surprised he can reach to level 4, and this is very important, meaning that he can digest and understand information, and this is important. When you go to school, you need to digest to understand the information, the content. So understanding concept. So, but he have improved to level 2. As long as there is an improvement, it means that he need more time to train, and then he will see improvement. Sequencing is good to go up to 3. Evaluation, and this is good. This is important. Even after school. In fact, now most of us, when we are working, we may forgot what is a triangle or the angle, add up how many degrees. We may forgot. We may not be using all this knowledge, but we still need to use evaluation every day. Your work, whether you are cleaner, you need to evaluate. Where should I start and how should I clean? How should I sweep the floor? Evaluation is abilities that you need every day, any task, anytime. Okay, system. Now everything that is system, and if he can understand system, that will help him to learn. Abstract thinking. So this is something difficult, but he have improved. And spatial perception, is important. If this is improving, it will help this part. This one is more on concrete, like, you know, the shape is turning upside down, turning left, right, flip over, and this is concrete, and this is more abstract, so it's harder. But if he have these abilities, this one will definitely will improve. So you need some time to improve in that area. Okay, vocabulary coherent. So this is the color that just now you saw he's doing it. I think he will improve this one. And or maybe this one didn't improve. He think it too easy. So look at two colors, then he key in two. Sometimes two color is only one color. So if I use the words red, red, red 3 times, and then I use red color to write red, 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 still one color, even though there's 3 red words there. But I'm using red color, so still is one color. So some children, they saw 3 words, so you just key in 3. So they thought that, oh, simple, just do. So that this part, if the teacher is with him, then we can help him to think, okay, you sure or not? Okay, so the parents can go through these reports and then to read. Now I want to show you some. The next one is now, so from 0 to 25 times, there is missing training. It is not that he don't have he can't score. No, because we have not triggered these abilities for him to train. So we cannot calculate the score. But after 25 times, the rest of the abilities is ready. Then he start to train. We can add up the score to know that, oh, his relationship can start. So then it's quite good, no? The reports here showing that he went up to level 4, and after that, here is his limit. He need more time to train and then to reach level 5. So this is something that I need to show you, and this one have detailed memory. Okay, this one, visual sequencing. After 14 times or 15 times, then he start having this training, because before that we didn't give him this training. So this one also 25 times, then he start this training. This one having training but have not improved, and sometimes he got the answer correct. He go down, up and down, and then he continue. Okay, sequencing. Okay, this one also 25 times, then we trigger the exercise activities for him. This one also 24 times. So this another type of report is yeah. Sorry. 25 times, then this one also 25 times, then another report is showing the timing. Okay, this one. So relationship, you don't have until 25 times. Sometimes he took 150 seconds, then he answered the question. So quite good. Okay, so these are the times that he need to answer each question. And okay, so this one, visual sequencing. After 15 times, then we trigger the exercise for him. So this one doesn't mean that he scores 0. It's one day we have visual, one day we don't have, one day have, one day don't have. So we design in a way that one day is auditory training, one day is visual training. So then he don't have the reports like auditory. So one day have, one day don't have. So these are the reports that the child have is 137 pages. Okay, so I want to show you what is, okay, like visual closure abilities. So what is all about, affecting what subject? And I want to show you the relationship. Okay, relationship. So what is all about? What is relationship? Affecting all subject. Okay, so different abilities sometimes affect different subject. So this one affect language. Okay, so the last one is we will suggest to the parents, if the parents need to do something more, then we introduce some toys that you can buy. You go Google and buy. We're not selling, to get all this exercise, different exercise training, different abilities. So the parents can go and purchase. We recommend some toys, so you all can go and purchase. Okay, so this is the report.
Thank you, Dr. Ng. That was a very comprehensive. Yeah.
Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Wira lanjutin Kak. Nggak apa-apa, lanjutin aja sendiri. Nanti kita lihat pas sudah selesai ya. Okay.
You want him to continue, or I go on with some sharing?
I asked him to continue himself.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. I will show you some. Now in China, the report showing that 98.7% have not any, after training, they didn't see any improvement at all. Okay, so mainly special needs children, I classify as only 2 areas that we need to address. One is behavior, one is their learning, cognitive. Behavior meaning that he cannot make friends or social behavior, he have problems, and he don't want to talk to people, he cannot look at people. No, that is behavioral problems. The other is learning problems. So behavior problems, in fact, as parents, we need to understand that if the circle can train the animals to perform, the lion, the tiger, they can train them to jump over the fire, and they change their behavior. Most all the animals, they afraid of fire, and yet they can train them to jump over the fire. Meaning, as human, all our children, their behavior can be changed. Yeah, they have some strange behavior that maybe people may not accept him, but all this behavior can be changed. So I remember when I give talk in Jakarta, one therapy told me that it's true, because he got a child that afraid of spoon. You know, we use spoon to eat, drink soup, and the child just afraid of the spoon. But after 6 months, They put the spoon far away, slowly go near to the child, and then the child able to pick up the spoon and eat food. So in the beginning, he's so afraid of the spoon, and he will scream and jump and run away. But after 6 months, so we need to be patient to train them, and then he's able to use spoon, or else the whole life he may need to use hands to eat. Okay, so certain behavior, as long as we have patience, no, we slowly and then we guide him, he can be changed. And in fact, it's true, when the training, all this, our program, in the beginning, at least 2 weeks, all these special needs children having difficulties don't want to do. But after 2 weeks, once they are in it, they will ask to do it. They will want to do it. If they don't do it, they will not go to bed. But for normal children, first 2 weeks they are so eager to do, but after 2 weeks, you have problem on asking them to doing it. So behavioral problems, as strong as parents, we stand firm and we believe that he can be changed, and just be patient and he will change. And behavior is important. Uh, no, I have autism kids that will not look at people, will not talk to people. After training for 4 months, he's able to look at his friends and shake hand and say good afternoon. So meaning that as long as we have patience with them, they will change. And learning cognitive training is about my program lah. So there are 3 areas affecting them. Physical. So I think Grace have a good program on diet, helping children with good diet, and that will help them to develop. And recently, our consultant introduced one doctor. He have a scanning machine who scan the brain and know what happened. Now, I do not know all these parts, physical parts. I only train in learning abilities. So we need some special, well-trained teachers like Grace know how to introduce good diet, and my daughter was benefited using her diet to help the child. And second part is psychological problem. So they have psychological problem. They are afraid. They have phobia. That one we need counseling. Of course we will need someone who know counseling and help them. And the next thing is learning abilities, where this is our program have. So to be to cut short, I will not go into all this detail. These are the training. Just now you have saw the child is doing it, so I will not explain more. So parents who use the program and they have a lot of testimonial, I will show you this testimonial. Okay, these parents have a 20 years old autism kids. After using the program for 10 days and was improved. So Malaysia Health Authority want me to explain what happened. So I explained to the 19 head department. I told them I don't know, because my program to only address the cognitive. So I'm not sure what happened. But after 10 months, the child improved so much. So trigger a psychology, a professor who teach in university and always invited to go Japan to give talk on autism. I'm not, I didn't know anything more about autism, but she's a autism specialist. And she wrote, she get some account from me and go to the autism center and let the child went through the training and wrote a report. And her research got best research paper. So this is Dr. No, her report showing that all the children after training, all of them have improved. Okay, and she said that the child have improved in executive function, communication skill, memory sure improve lah, and social skill. So these are the area that after cognitive training, the child can improve in this area. And Dr. No shared with me, she encountered with many training, but most of it are behavioral training. And first time she know that there is a training on cognitive. But I told her I didn't design for autism kids, special needs kids. It's for normal children. So she used it to test on a special needs child. And she after doing the research, she told us that all the children have improved. Okay, so and this is in Guangzhou. This child suffered from Prader-Willi syndrome, and the IQ is low. But after training, she can do her study. The mother said now 3 hours sitting there and do her homework without problem. And these children, the whole world is about 100 over 1,000, and their IQ are low. They cannot speak properly. They cannot learn arithmetics. But she can do now. She can do problem sum, and the mother was so happy. Okay, so this is the program that we have, and I think we let the parents ask questions.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ang. I also have a list of questions
Wow.
from those who have registered. And I will also give some time for Junie to ask questions from her part. Participants, today, because we are talking about brain and behavior training, especially in relation to using technology, we will try to answer, if we have time, questions related, like general questions about, I mean, not general, but specific questions about behavior training. So, Dr. Ng, I'll just give you the questions that you will be able to attend to. So I think there are some that you have already covered. And there's a question that you might be able to just re-answer. How long you observe, or how long is the observation, I guess, with this method? And can we use this for all autistic kids, or dependent on the case?
Okay, there are many areas that affecting a child. So now we have not know what actually affecting them, they become autism. So far we know that heavy metal affecting the child. So we need to help the child to clear off the heavy metal. Now, just now I mentioned about Dr. No. When we go to the center, out of 85 students, I think 60 over autism kids at that center all have heavy metal. So we help them to clear the heavy metal in a very simple way. Just drink distilled water alternate day. You don't need to drink every day, alternate day. And after 1 month, we check again. All the heavy metal has clear. And the child has behaved so well. Last time was noisy, running about and cannot control, bad temper. But after that, the child has changed. the heavy metal reduced. Sometimes is we need to have proper diet, which I was so happy to know Grace. So we need to have a good diet for the child. And children went through the diet, and even though didn't have any cognitive training, they improved. So we need Grace to help us to know how, so y'all can get her contact and ask her. So go through the diet and what to eat, what not to eat. Huh? And other than that, maybe we need to have scanning or what. So now nobody know what causes it. But we do know that heavy metal surely affecting the child. Diet surely affecting the child. So it's a lot on individual. So for your child, we are not sure. But Dr. No research, she told me that only addressing behavioral, that we change his behavior, and sometimes work, sometimes don't. But she said after cognitive training, the behavior changed within 6 months. Like the mother who has 20 years old child, after 10 days, the mother said, last time ask him any question, he will give you answer yes, no, only these 2 words. But after 10 days, the child answer, later, not hungry. Wait, the mother got shocked. So it changed. And Dr. No doing the research, after 6 months, those who didn't speak well, and they start to communicate, and so executive function have improved, the social skill have improved. So the Dr. No said that cognitive will help in their social behavior. Like just now, Grace also mentioned about the child to self-correct when doing the question. No, this one 3 is not here, 4 must be here. No, and then wrong, must be here and there. Evaluation and thinking. So sometimes children, if they can evaluate, they know that, oh, maybe wrong, I shouldn't do that, then he will change his behavior. Sometimes he don't understand, he think that, no, I can do this, then he didn't evaluate the situation. This is not the right place to jump about or to do something. Some children just urine anywhere. Then later he realized, after evaluation, I think this is not the right place. I must go toilet, restroom to do it. So I think cognitive play a part on helping children in their behavior. Of course, I say again, physical also. So we need to have a good diet, and no, if they have heavy metal, we need to clear. Okay, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ang. And also neurolab question, which is there any application needed to install? Is there any application to install, Dr. Ang?
No, you just need to have a Google, and then you have our website, the link, and then you can just go in. As long as you have a good Wi-Fi, stable Wi-Fi, then you can do the training. Yeah.
So I think there was Junie sent a link. If parents or anyone who are interested to contact us and get more information about neurolab, please do so. Let's continue with the questions. So there are some questions related to the learning in terms of daring. Daring is online learning. So do you have any thoughts, Dr. Ng, about how to effectively use technology for autistic children?
I don't understand the question. Can you repeat again?
The question is how to use technology effectively for children with autism.
Oh, okay. Well, not sure if they're using our training program, and this training program will help him to think, will help him to do the exercise. And I think technology, there are some good and benefit to us. Of course, if they go and use it to play games, then we need to help them to not to play games. Use technology to learn, it will be good. So there are some courses or some learning is on website, web-based, or just our program is a web-based. Now, our training and the content learning is different. Content learning is you need to tell him all the information, what is right, what is wrong, what is correct answer, what is wrong answer. But for abilities training, we shouldn't tell him the answer. Because if you were to tell him the answer, it becomes your IQ, your abilities. It's not the child abilities. So it's okay that he do wrongly or he get it wrong. It's okay. As strong as he know the activities. If he know the activities need to key in capital letter, but he key in small letter, then you need to remind him, and that's all. But if he key in wrongly, only 3 dots, then he key in 9 dots, then you say, come on now, only 3 lah. Why you then you are giving him the direct answer. Then that will not help him. Okay. And the technology is good because you don't have to travel. You just need to be at home. You can, if you have Wi-Fi, then you can do the training. Having said that, we need to balance it. The child need to go outdoor. Okay, you need to plan some time for him to go outdoor, to run about, to cannot every day at home. It will have bad effect. So try to arrange time to go out and do some activities outside. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Ang. And also, I might actually extend to that what Dr. Ang had suggested. From my experience, it's how we actually guide the child to understand what is expected, and also we basically hold his hands in the beginning so that they are not scared, because with children or individuals with autism, usually or commonly, the hardest step is to start to learn something new, to get into something different. So I don't know about your experiences, teachers and coaches, but that's my experience. So what Dr. Ng had suggested in the beginning, and I suggest that if you have time to have a look again at this recording, because Dr. Ng has mentioned some tips in the beginning. But from my experiences, and this is something that I would like to share with you today. And I'm really pleased to actually meet with all of you. One thing that I would like to share, and it's very important because this is my passion, and I love working with children with autism or individual with autism. I even work with children with, not children, actually adult with autism, with very minimal verbal or communication, and also very severe aggression. So my thing, and I hope you actually spend some time to contemplate this. I believe in every individual with autism, there is a part of them that is typical, that is normal, that they know they are just like any other people. So regardless their age, I think there is that part that they just know. They are 19 years old. They are 7 years old. And the reason why I want to share with you, that's how we can actually overcome the difficulty of communicating with individuals with autism. If we never ever consider that part of them that is typical, we'll never be able to connect with them. And this is very important. And it's so close to my heart. And when I've found this, I thought this is it. Anybody can actually train individuals with autism, can care for them, can guide them, as long as you really consider the side of them that is normal or typical. Like you saw me how I spoke with Wira. I basically give reasons. I explain truthfully, never ever lie to us people with autism because they know. And as soon as they don't trust you, you'll never be able to work with them. And this is very, very important. Yeah, so dealing with all those behaviors of your questions, like how to settle them down, how to make them focus and concentrate, how to make them independent, it all lies on how we, as their trainer, teacher, coach, therapist, doctors, or whoever deal with these individuals, is to respect that side of them. And I really, really want to highlight this because it's very critical. It's very crucial.
Yes.
As you saw, Wira today, I actually asked his permission before I even promoted it and asked Dr. Ang if we can do this. Is it okay for you to do Neuralab in front of a lot of people? I asked his permission and said, yes, sure, let's go ahead. And if you are familiar with autism characteristics, usually some of them wouldn't want to do one thing twice. Yeah? Does it resonate with you? Yeah, teacher Amy is nodding. Yes. But you saw, Wira had done Neuralab before he started the second one, because I actually asked him to start so we can demonstrate his Neuralab halfway through. But because of the technical difficulty, which I apologize for, he completed one cycle of Neuralab. But then when I asked him to do the second cycle, no problem. And you saw that he still demonstrated like some repetitive behaviors. And I did try a lot of times to settle him down, but individuals with autism usually have sensory difficulties. In normal developmental stages, sensory integration should have been completed by 2 years old. So when it's still challenging for them, please remember to continue giving them the stimulation to fulfill their sensory needs. For instance, Wira is still doing exercise every day because, as you can see, he needs a proprioceptive, yeah, and he's still feeling his sleep. Okay, so the tactile and the proprioceptive are usually the hardest to integrate. That's what I found. A lot of kids still, or individuals still jumping around, yeah? So we can try to make them as normal as possible, but there are nobody is perfect, right? So everybody will have strengths and weaknesses. And if their weaknesses are sensory, let's just attend to those weaknesses and try to improve it by giving them stimulation or activities that are purposeful, that are useful if they are older. So not like when they're little. Remember, the side of them that is normal, we must respect them. We must respect that. Don't give them a 3-year-old or a baby activity. Please, I beg you. Because if you want them to be independent and grow mentally, you must treat them close to their age. Don't treat them like a baby, please. Because that is what's making them continuing like a baby. As long as you give them nursery rhymes, when they are more than like a teenager, how do you expect them to be a teenager? So again, one thing, if I can, emphasize, please treat that side according to their age, or at least according to the stage where they are at. If they are a teenager, give them teenager songs. Show them and the teenagers who are with autism who are successful, because that really inspire that side of them that is typical. You can try. To me, all these things, as long as it's safe, it's not harmful, please just do try. Because you will see that there will be some breakthrough when you take them and show them this is how you can be, because you are now a teenager, because now you're an adult. Okay, so I think it's close to time. I hope that this session has been useful and inspiring, and I'm happy. Thank you, Teacher Fisha. And I'm happy if we are going to do it again, and maybe we have workshop. Yeah, Miss Junie, Junie, I think there's a lot of things that we can discuss as teachers and educators. I think this technology really enable all of us from everywhere to exchange ideas and also to share experiences.
Yeah.
Prevalence
Yes.
continue to grow. Let's try to
Yes.
help each other.
Yeah. Grace, there's a question asked how to teach them to study. I think most parents having problem, even though their children are not special needs child, they have a hard time to ask the child to study. And there is more challenge for special needs child. But I think as long as there are areas that we can address and help them, they will change the attitude towards the learning. Like if they don't have the abilities to learn, they find it so difficult. You want me to do something that I cannot achieve, I cannot do, and then too hard, and then they will not do. So sometimes it's because they don't have the abilities. So if you equip them with abilities, just like you want the worker to cut the glass, but then you give him the scissors to cut, the worker sure crack the head that, wow, how to cut the field, the football field, just give me a scissors, so difficult. But if you were to give him electrical, the cutter, then he said, easy, half a day I'll finish the job. So sometimes children think that it's difficult because they don't have the tools. They don't have the abilities to do it. Secondly, is because they do not know the meaning, the important, the good side on learning, the value of the learning. That one, for normal children, we need to explain to them. And sometimes the child is young, is easier. We just tell them, you go there and sit down and learn. They will follow because they are too young to against you. But when they go to secondary school, it may be difficult. Huh? You ask him to go there, he will go to the other side. That one, you need different way to address it, which Mandy is going to conduct a talk, inviting a teacher, teacher and to speak on how to communicate with the child with teenager. They using different way. Younger children and teenager is different way. So if you are interested, please go ask Mandy about the talk. We may tell you the talk, the detail. Or Junie wanted to share the Google form or what?
Yes,
Junie?
the Google form has been sent in the chat group.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. And
Yeah.
do you need any question that should maybe be answered here?
Yes,
Or-
the rest of the question in the chat room, I have already typed the answer.
Okay,
For
good.
parents who have some more questions, you can actually reach out to us by dropping your name and contact in the Google form. We will reach out to you.
Yeah.
Right. And anything else from your side, Grace and Dr. Ng?
No.
Yes.
No, then I'll thank you, Dr. Ng, for the eye-opening sharing. And also many thanks to Grace for hosting this webinar.
Yes, yes.
Parents who have
Thank you.
more questions may reach out to us by scanning the QR code that I'll be sharing on the screen shortly, and the consultant will get in touch with to assist you. Parents' cognitive theory might be the missing link that explains why some children learn faster and some children learn slower, not just in terms of academic, but learning in general, for example, taking instructions. Just like our yearly health check, you may now check where your child stands with each of the 39 learning abilities. Different combination and level will help them differently in the way they execute their daily functions. The NeuroLab program can assess up to 39 learning abilities a person needs to have to be able to perform their daily tasks. While we should focus on our child's strength, helping them with something routine and consistent to bridge the gap, especially if there are any underdeveloped abilities to catch up and match their biological age, makes so much difference. Once again, I'm Junie and I'm based in Petaling Jaya, Malaysia. Thank you for joining us and see you again next time.
Thank you,
Yeah,
June.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Grace.
Thank you. Dr. Ng, before you go, can I
Oh.
just let William to say hi with you?
Oh,
He's
yes, yes, yes.
one of my students and he's based in New Zealand. And
Oh,
he
okay.
Hello, hello.
Hi,
Can
William.
you guys
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes, yes,
Can you hear me?
yes, yes,
Guys?
yes.
Hello. Hey,
Hello.
Dr.
Yes, I hear you, William.
thanks, Will.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes, I can. Oops. Yes. So
Yeah.
William,
Can you hear me?
yeah,
Yes.
William would like to do one of this demonstration as well, Dr. Ang.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So William will be our next guest.
Wonderful. Good.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody. Nice
Yeah.
to